And donuts and Doom Pizza. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, May 16th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Starting off this week, now that Borderlands is coming out with its fourth iteration, Gearbox decided that it is finally time to fix some quality of life things that people have been asking for since the first game. One big upgrade is they're bringing lobbies into the game, so you'll be able to jump in and see everybody who's in the lobby before launching your game, which is going to be awesome considering the drop in drop out is maybe a feature of the game previously, but has always been somewhat wonky, and deciding who's the leader and where they are in the story has always been a little bit of a pain in the butt. But hopefully lobbies help fix that up. Another thing that they talked about as an upgrade to the game is you will be able to, with the click of a button, fast travel to your friends. Anyone who's ever fallen off the back of a tank in Borderlands and had to run across the entire map so that we could all be together to transition to the new zone, realize that this has been a problem since the first game. And yeah, now finally you can just click a button and be able to teleport to your friends. I don't think it's going to go full Halo, like if you get too far away, you just get rubber banded over to your friends. But yeah, I would hope that there would be less kind of map to map transitions, but that's always been a feature of the game. So I doubt that that's going to change significantly. But now with the click of a button, you can just jump to where your friends are as they get in way over their heads. Dead by Daylight is not content to gobble up all of your favorite horror IPs for its monolithic asymmetrical horror game. Now they are taking other IPs as well, maybe not so horror related. They're bringing The Witcher to the game, which could be interesting because Geralt is usually known for killing monsters and not running away from them with a flashlight. The Walking Dead is also teased to be coming to it, maybe a little bit more horror related. And then this one surprises me that it's not actually in the game yet, but Five Nights at Freddy's is finally being brought to the game. I could definitely see an animatronic bear running around in Dead by Daylight chasing Nick Cage and whoever else they have as random survivors nowadays. The next Control game is coming out just in a few weeks, and we're starting to get hands-on on the games from what I hear. So reading through an article this week by a PlayStation blog talking about what to kind of expect in Firebreak was pretty interesting. They kind of talked about how important it is to stay as friends, or stay close to your friends. I know that in these kind of Left 4 Dead likes, being separated is always a recipe for death. There's also going to be friendly fire, and it's going to be working together to complete objectives, which is what you kind of get the vibes for in in Control. Is like, if you're not where you're supposed to be, you're probably going to die. The Control being a very goal-oriented game as opposed to just killing all the monsters. So yeah, I am looking forward to playing with with friends, and yeah, we're all gonna shoot some post-it ghosts together. Now that we're over a year out from GTA 6, people are already starting, and we got a pretty lengthy trailer last week. People are already starting to speculate wildly on what to expect in the game, and we have more than 365 days for them to be proven right or wrong. So speculate all you want. But people are speculating on whether or not you're going to have a character select. It definitely seems like we're in a committed relationship with two very specific people. So whether or not you get to pick and play as one of them or switch off, or how the story's going to be told, is still up in the air. There's also some kind of subtle inclinations towards one of the characters being an undercover cop, maybe the male character, and whether or not that leads to an inevitable betrayal is part of the fan theories as well. So I'm just looking forward to living in Miami for all I can when I get to GTA, but how we're going to manage relationship mechanics and all that kind of stuff, and just sim the heck out of all of Miami will be quite interesting as someone who's never been to Florida myself. Capcom has had another record-breaking year thanks to 10 million copies of Monster Hunter Wilds sold. This continues an 8-year streak of progressively making more and more money. I think this is awesome and relevant in that when I started, nobody launched video games in January, and now the later half of January is actually kind of a prime time to release your video games that didn't make it into Q4 the previous year. And that all kind of started with a little game you might remember, Resident Evil 7. Came out in like the first 2 weeks of 2017. So yeah, Capcom's been trailblazing. They've been knocking it out, and their Q1 titles have been smash hits for the last 8 years or so. So yeah, excited to see and congratulate them on how much the success they had. And yeah, as someone who played Monster Hunter Wilds and enjoyed their time with it, yeah, glad to see that Capcom keeps knocking it out of the park. Highlighting another win this week, Giant Bomb has bought themselves from Fandom, the wiki game service company platform thing. If you don't remember, back in 2022, Giant Bomb was purchased as part of a big package with GameSpot, as well as a couple other companies like GameFAQ as well. But Giant Bomb didn't like that. They were purchased kicking and screaming, and now that some time has passed and they've figured out how to fund themselves, they've bought themselves out from under them, and are now going to be solely funded by themselves and fan support. So good job, Giant Bomb, for cracking the case on that one. Hopefully we can, I don't know if we're going to see something like that come out of like Polygon, the way that they got purchased, but it'll be interesting to see now that Giant Bomb has released from the shackles of fandom what they're going to be able to do, and how it'll be different than how they've been operating for the past 3 or so years. To get around tariffs, Sony is considering building a factory in the US so that they can create PlayStation 5 consoles here in the US and sell them to North American customers, potentially to skirt around some of the massive tariffs by our current president. I don't know if this is like, is this an expected and wanted outcome of the tariffs? Like to bring I would assume bringing manufacturing jobs here to the US by a major company like Sony is a big win, but I don't know if I'd give them the credit to think that this is an intended result. But yeah, if Sony still thinks that after 5 years they've got a lot of game consoles to sell to American retailers and customers, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they make good on this and where the Sony plant would be in the Americas. So looking forward to figuring out where that ends up going. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for the pitch for Mad Bullets to Nintendo, because Mad Bullets is a rail shooter coming to Nintendo Switch, and it was announced this week that they will have $30 plastic guns that look like revolvers, that you can buy and play with your Nintendo. Nintendo, a fervently family-friendly console. It'd be interesting to see them, young kids running around with Nintendo official 6-shooters. But they are in, a pastel-y blue and pink, because that makes them still family friendly. But yeah, only for $30 you can play a rail shooter gun, have your guns blazing, playing in Nintendo. So I'm excited to see what this looks like, and it could be a fun, apparently it's fun for the whole family. So I'll be interested to see if I can buy this and get a bunch of people in their mid-30s to shoot pink guns at their Nintendo Switch. Moving right along, a roguelike deck builder caught my eye this week, which is unique because there are a lot of roguelike deck builders out there nowadays. But this one is a little bit of a word soup in that it is a roguelike deck builder, but also first person, and is a dungeon crawler. But the thing that caught my eye is that you're fighting against little funguses, little fungi, as I like to call them. Yeah, little mushroom people, and you've got a hand of cards, and you're walking through a dungeon, and you're choosing which cards to get you through the door, as well as to fight off all your mushroom enemies. So yeah, it caught my eye this week, and it's out. It launched. I thought it was like an early access or just now, getting out there, but no, the game was announced and launched this week, called Shroom and Gloom, aptly with the mushroom aesthetic. So yeah, caught my eye. I'll have a link down below for you to check that out. Last but not least, we always have to talk about any Fallout news, if there is any. And at a panel at Liverpool Comic Con, the actor who plays Maximus, Aaron Motton, announced that based on where the narrative's going and the overall arches, that the show could run for 5 or 6 seasons. Now that is coming off back. That is coming off the news that Amazon has already renewed Fallout for season 3, even though season two's premiere is not for several months and is based in December, which is a lot earlier than I thought based on my estimates last week, getting the news that it has been wrapped on production. But yeah, they're aiming for a December premiere, but season 3 has already been picked up. So all that's great news. Means that I don't think that we're going to be stuck in New Vegas. There was even a 15 or 30-second trailer this week showing off, Lucy and the ghoul going into New Vegas. So I don't think that we're going to be trapped there. We're going to see maybe a lot of parts of the wasteland, the American wasteland in Fallout. So yeah, I'm excited for 5 or 6 seasons. Hopefully that is awesome. I would assume that eventually they get to the Capital Wasteland or something in the New England area, something like that. Getting to see the aftermath of what happens in Fallout 3 would be pretty cool. And Fallout 4 set in Boston, like checking all that stuff out would be very cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more and more seasons of this, and more importantly, looking forward to watching Fallout Season 2 in December. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you like this content. If you do, please follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!